Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation.
Mesh Coffee Farm is located in San Antonio Village in the Cayo districts. Our Belize Watch team traveled out west and took a tour of the farm where Ushmole coffee is grown. We will have that for you after we hear from our partners, Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, the Barry, and Shell Belize.
Ho, ho, ho! It's time again for the most spectacular, eye-popping, jaw-dropping parade of the year, Love FM's Christmas Parade. On Saturday, December 17th, the streets of the old capital will come alive with marching bands, fabulous floats, Ozzy the Clown, cartoon characters, flashing Christmas lights, and tumblers tumbling. Come out early to secure your viewing spot as participants and floats delight your senses with this awesome parade extravaganza. Show off your dance moves as all your favorite marching bands from north, south, east, and west take over the streets of Belize and give you so much music and make the parade a December to remember. Special appearances by El Shaddai Marching Band from San Benito Petén, Guatemala. To top it all off, there will be giveaways galore, treats from your favorite business floats, and candies in all flavors of the rainbow. See Santa and Mrs. Claus dance in the Christmas parade and jiggle their way to Albert Street in the absolutely best parade of the year. Love FM's Christmas Parade. Bring out the entire family.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
Shell V-Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me.
And we are with James Mesh, and we are in beautiful San Antonio Village in the Mountain Pine Ridge area of the Cayo district. Am I correct on that, Mr. Mesh?
Yes.
That's where we are.
Yes, San Antonio Village, the most beautiful village in Belize.
Yeah, well,
San Antonio Cayo, right?
San Antonio Cayo.
Yes.
Because there are many San Antonios, you know, but we're talking about San Antonio Cayo.
Exactly, San Antonio Cayo,
Yes.
the most beautiful village in Belize.
And I would not dispute that, because when I look at the mountains over there, the Mountain Pine Ridge area, it's just beautiful being out here, so serene and what have you. So you picked a good spot to live. Did you pick this spot or did this spot pick you?
Actually, the spot picked me actually because in Mayan we say Elum miktial, elumo utialong. The land does not belong to us, but we belong to the land. Yes.
So the land picked you to and placed you here to stay here on it.
Exactly. Correct. Correct.
Tell me about your village, San Antonio. You are Yucatec Maya, right?
Yes. Yucatec Maya, that's my first language. Correct.
But tell me about the village of San Antonio, and then a bit about yourself. How I guess you're born here in San Antonio, and how it was like growing up in San Antonio. And so let's learn a bit about you. Find out who you are.
Yes. So San Antonio Village, is the only Yucatec Mayan speaking community in Western Belize. You look at the Yucatec Mayans. Originally, our ancestors came from Yucatan, Mexico. The Quechua, Guerra de las Castas, right? So majority of the people that left Yucatan, came farther south, settled in northern Belize, or in Juac, Corozal. So very few people, about 5 families, moved farther inland, and they stopped in different locations until they ended up here in this specific area where San Antonio is now. They arrived here. They say, okay, life is here. This area is rich, meaning there is medicine, there is water, there is clean air, there is material for construction, there is clothing, fertile soils, you know. So they decided to settle. That was when San Antonio, I mean, that's how San Antonio started. And we still speak Yucatec Mayan. It's a farming community. 80% of us in the community do farming. So 80%. So we produce like almost everything we consume in the community.
But this area would have been outside of San Antonio, which, as you said, is Yucatec Maya. The other villages would have maybe be Mopan Maya, right? Am I correct in saying that?
In this direct area?
In the area.
Well, in the direct area here, we don't, like, near to us, we don't have any other Mayan speaking community. We're the only ones in this specific area, like Yucatec Mayan. We have our neighboring community is El Progreso, 7 miles, which is more Spanish speaking. Originally people from El Salvador, Guatemala. And then we have farther down Cristo Rey village, where very, very few people speak the Mayan language in that community. No,
Yucatec Maya? Okay,
we talk about Maya Mopan, we're looking at farther south. And around Belmopan areas like Maya Mopan, San Martin area, they speak Maya Mopan and Quechua Maya in that specific area, exactly. And then farther south, right?
Okay, so really your village is a unique village in this area.
Yes, it's unique. That's why I said, you know, we're the only Yucatec Mayan speaking community in Western Belize. There is no other community here that speaks Yucatec Mayan. You ask any other person, it'll be Northern Belize. Orange Juac, Corozal.
Yes.
Correct.
No. What was it like for you growing up here in your village, San Antonio?
Okay, I was actually born and raised at the farm. The farm is 2 miles out of San Antonio village. So, I had to walk 2 miles every day to go to school. Okay. 2 miles in the morning, 2 miles back in the afternoon, 5 days a week, rain or shine, you know. And but growing in San Antonio, as a Mayan, because I speak Yucatec Mayan.
What school you attended, by the way? You said you went to school. What school was that?
I went to the San Antonio Roman Catholic School, okay. RC School, and so growing in the village, I grew up whereby I had to learn many good things that had to do with culture and tradition.
Yeah, obviously.
Because it's passed on. Yeah. You know, and as a child, as soon as we can do something, we are involved. So like before I go to school, I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, had chores to do before I go to school. Come back home in the afternoon, straight to the farm. I had to help dad and mom. You know, I had chores to do. So the culture, the tradition is passed on. Farming, traditional medicine, you know, survival, food security.
You learned a lot as a child, like growing up.
Yes, it was passed on by our parents to us. Yes, which we still do now. You know, like, you know, as our children, we make sure that we pass on knowledge to them because that's important towards the survival for us. You know, yes.
So you're very proud of your Maya Yucatec heritage, especially like you said, this is a unique village in this part of our beloved country.
Yes, of course. I mean, I speak Yucatec Mayan. You know, I mean, it's, you know, you look at the Mayan history, we're the natives of this area, and apart from being just a unique community, we also we look into traditional medicine. I'm not sure if you heard about the late Don Eligio Panti.
Of course I knew Don Eligio Panti, but go ahead.
He actually was from my community, you know, and he helped a lot of people, not only like directly the community, but Belize and Central America and other countries, you know. Yes, well known, yeah. Exactly. And so now, you know, we have the opportunity as a community to manage a protected area. So Aldi Mountain Range, right? Aldi Mountain Range, you're looking at there. It's part of what we call the Eligio Pante National Park. 12,000 acres of land, which is managed by the community of San Antonio. There is a co-management agreement with the government of Belize and the community to manage a protected area.
Excellent. Because that's what caught my eyes, especially sitting when we came under the shed. You know, I looked back and I said, "What beautiful mountains!" You know, and I've been to this area some years ago, before the roads were paved. You know, and I always admired the beauty of the area. I think it's one of the most beautiful areas in our country, the Mountain Pine Ridge area.
It is. It is. It's. I mean, it's a great area. It's always green. You know, and like where my farm is, you know, where the family farm is, you know, we have that view every day. You know, and that never changes. A protected land, we get traditional medicine, we get clean air, we get rain. The water system of the community of San Antonio is gravity fed, and it comes from that mountain range.
Excellent.
Gravity fed to the community of San Antonio.
People live in San Antonio, more or less.
San Antonio has a population of approximately 3,000 people, where about 65% of the population still speak the Yucatec Mayan language. You know, we still practice traditional medicine, you know, farming practices. So cultural tradition is still practiced in the community of San Antonio.
So if you were to welcome me in Maya Yucatec, not that I would understand you, I'm sorry I did not learn Maya Yucatec, but if you were to welcome me in Maya Yucatec, what would it sound like? Go ahead and do it.
Like welcoming you in Yucatec Mayan, we say, Kambenesh Teking Bela. Welcome to the farm today. Kambeng is like welcome.
Kambeng.
Like that's singular, one person, Kambeng. Now it's plural is Kambenesh, talking to more than one person, right? Kambenesh.
Welcome.
Yes.
Okay. Kambenesh. And how would I say I'm happy to be here?
Ki makinwol yanileng weya.
Wow. Ki makinwol yanileng
weya.
weyak. Okay. Ki makinwol mayen yanileng weyak. All right. So I'm happy to be here. And I'm looking forward to an exciting experience here at your farm, the Oshmul farm, right? Your coffee brand is Oshmul. Yes. Now, how did you arrive at the name Oshmul?
Okay. First of all, I come from a family of 10. I'm the only one in my family, my brothers, my sisters, that had the opportunity to further my education a little more. Went to high school. Okay. I've always loved conservation. I've always loved culture, tradition. We were raised at the farm based on traditional farming, producing our own food. So corn is a big deal. It's staple for us, you know. And so my mom would put us to roast corn. We would roast corn and we would grind roasted corn. Okay. And my mom would take the roasted corn, just put it in boiling water, add a little sugar cane to it, just let it boil, and then she would strain. That was our drink. Yeah. Or the handmade corn tortillas. You take that. My mom used to put it into the fire, you know, when it turns black, she would take it out, drop it into boiling water, add a little sugar cane to it, leave it there to boil for 10-15 minutes, and that was our drink. So we were raised with corn, you know, apart from other natural teas, of course. Then, sadly, instant coffee was introduced to Belize. And like,
sadly?
Sadly because we got excited and it became the coffee of Belize, right?
Okay.
Well, I say sadly because by then I had no idea like real coffee existed. So, like even us, like we adopted instant coffee. Like James was excited. Man, in the morning I'm gonna have my cup of Nescafe, right?
Yeah. Because
And
the other traditional Maya drink would be chocolate, right?
chocolate.
Cacao.
Yes, exactly. I mean, chocolate is the traditional Mayan drink. Like coffee is not part of us. You know, I mean that was introduced later on. You know, and we adopted instant coffee. We still do our traditional drink, corn, cacao, and other, like, allspice, fever grass. Um, but coffee was always in the house. Instant coffee.
Instant coffee.
Instant coffee always in the house.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we want things easy, right? It's like, okay, I have to go to the farm. I have to, like I have to harvest corn. I have to dry. I have to roast. I have to grind. I just go to the store and buy instant coffee, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like we kind of get used to that. We like easy things, right? But I've had, I've tried to make good use of good opportunities. So I've been, involving in environmental work. So based on environmental work, I've had good opportunities. I've had the opportunity to travel Central America.
Tell me a little bit about that before we continue with the coffee.
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, right? Like the village of San Antonio, we manage a protected area.
Yeah.
So that called me to be involved into protected areas management.
Okay.
Because I believe that, what belongs to us, we should be able to manage it and work with it. So that's how I started getting involved in environmental education, conservation efforts. So based on that, I had the opportunity to go to Costa Rica. And what I saw in Costa Rica, there was only one missing at the farm. There's only one thing missing at the farm, right? Because the farm here is family owned. We're 2 miles out of San Antonio village. We have 27 acres of land. We farm 10 acres. We live on 5 acres full with fruit trees. Then the rest is a forest. That's where material for construction comes. That's where traditional medicine comes. That's where some food comes. That's where the clean air comes. That brings the rain. So that's how the farm is set up: farming, housing, and forest. And so we are here at the farm now. We are 100% on solar. We harvest rainwater. I visited farms in Costa Rica. People have that same setup: house, farming, forest, solar, rainwater collection. I said, man, this is like what I do at the farm, But one thing caught my attention. One thing caught my attention. I saw people growing and harvesting coffee.
Yeah, in Costa Rica.
In Costa Rica.
They do a lot of coffee in Costa Rica. Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to see and taste what they do. That was the first time I had real coffee. I said, what?
Different from the instant, not true?
Big time, it's very different. I said, what? I said, but where can I get this in Belize, I said, this is the only thing missing at the farm: coffee. So I said, when I go back, I'm going to start and try growing coffee. So that's how actually the idea of starting growing coffee at the farm came into play, So I came back. My language was coffee. I called the family, and I said, man, I brought some coffee. This is real coffee, and this is how it is grown. We need to start doing this in Belize at the farm here, And I started talking to people,
I guess their reactions might have been, because Belize is not traditionally a coffee growing country, because coffee grows more in higher altitudes, right?
Well, accordingly, that's what people said.
That's what they would tell you. Yeah.
That's what people said. People said, James, don't waste your time. Coffee does not grow in Belize. There were some people that tried before. They had a couple of plans. It just didn't work out. Because we don't have the altitude, we don't have the climate for it. I said, but we're neighbors with Guatemala, we're neighbors with Mexico, and they have good coffee. They said, but remember, they have the altitude. We don't have the altitude here. Like, your farm is around 800 feet above sea level. Coffee will never grow.
Talking about 4,000 to 7,000 feet in these other countries.
Exactly, exactly. And we don't have that altitude. So people said that is the main reason we don't cultivate coffee in Belize. So Don't waste your time. Why don't you just continue with your corn, your peanut? Definitely, you're gonna get some harvest. With coffee, it'll never work. That's what like majority of people said. Very few people said, James, give it a try, man. Hopefully it'll work. And so in 2005 was when I started actually with three plants.
Three coffee plants.
Three coffee plants.
Very small.
Yes, it was difficult like to access seeds because no one does coffee in our direct area. So like I couldn't go to a farmer and say, can I buy or can you sell me some coffee seeds, some coffee plants? No one did. So it was very like hard, difficult to get.
How did you get those three plants? You brought them with you from Costa Rica, or how did you get them?
Actually, no, I was able to get them from the Belize Botanical Gardens.
Okay.
As a botanical garden, they had native and exotic species, and they had some coffee plants they brought from Honduras. From one of the agricultural schools in Honduras.
Zamorano more than likely.
Probably yes. And so they had some plants, and I believe I was able to convince them. So they gave me three plants, and this was in 2005. And I planted them, and that was the kickstart. When they started growing, I planted them when they were about probably 8 inches.
Okay.
The seedlings, right? Called the whole family. We said these. I told them these are coffee plants. We're going to plant them here. The only thing we knew is that coffee needs shade for it to grow. We knew nothing and we knew nothing else about coffee. So we planted them, and it grew. 2.5 years later, amazingly, it started flowering, and boom, coffee.
You got your coffee.
It was exciting, man. Like from the 3 trees, we harvested about 23 coffee berries or coffee fruits, I call them. The little red. There is two varieties, red and yellow, right? So we harvested about 23 of those, and it was
just 23 berries.
yeah, from 3 plants.
From 3 plants.
Yes, and so that the excitements that we kind of started. Well, we started telling people, come and check these trees. They're blooming, they're fruiting, and so we took all the seeds and we planted them back. We knew. We did normally. How we would germinate seeds was like how we put them to germinate. We got about 10% germination.
So you took those same 23 seeds and replanted and planted those seeds to get your base, to get your base.
Yes. We got about 10% germination. The rest just didn't come up. And the 10% germination took about 6 months for it to come up, And that was the kickstart. So every year we would harvest a little more, and we would plant a couple more seeds. So
you didn't do any more imports of coffee trees?
No. Basically, from those 3 plants was where we selected our seeds, and we planted more every year, And so 10 years ago, we harvested 30 pounds, like one bucket, right? One bucket full of so it's about 30 pounds. And that was when we processed our first coffee at the farm. Since then, we stopped buying coffee. We process our coffee every year. We harvest, we process, we store, and we make coffee as the need arises. And we started telling people. People will come and check it out, look at the trees, and drink good coffee, of course. And some people would say, can I get some seeds? So we started giving out seeds to some farmers so that they can grow their own coffee tree. We started germinating, seedlings, and we would give some seedlings to people who want to plant coffee, because we think and we believe that we should drink good coffee, and it grows in the area. It's possible it can be grown. The only thing is that I believe sometimes we want easy things, right? Because from germinating a seed to first harvest is 3 years.
3 years from germination to harvesting.
Yes.
Okay, that takes a little while. Yeah.
It does. And for you to say, okay, it's giving me the full harvest now. You have to wait until about the 6th, 7th year, for you to start getting a good harvest from a tree. So it takes a while. And many of us prefer easy things, right? Just go to the shop and buy and
buy instant thing, but
exactly. So that is how the idea about coffee started. I decided to challenge it. People said it will never grow. It happened now. The evidence is here. As we speak, we have
How many acres you have now?
We have 1 acre of coffee.
1 acre of coffee.
We have about 1,200 trees, which is about 1 acre, and we have them spread around our fruit trees. Some people would come and say, James, but where is your coffee farm, man? I visited Central America, and you see
Rows and rows of
coffee.
Yes.
People say, where's your coffee farm? I say, okay, something very important you need to know and understand. Here at the farm, we do things the way it should be done. So we have our coffee plants spread around our fruit trees under an agroforestry system. Because it's more than coffee. We have coffee, we have many other fruit trees, so we also look at food security. We also look at the culture and the tradition, because when we started talking about packaging or starting a little coffee business, we thought about a list of things. When we started, talking with the family about starting a family business, we thought about more than just generating income. First, we thought about starting a business that will not compete against my neighbor. We didn't want to do something and compete against our own villagers. We wanted to do something different, something unique, something that will not cause a competition against my neighbor. So that was one. We didn't want to compete.
But then you were the only one growing coffee. How would you be competing with your neighbors?
Well, when we started talking about a family business, we didn't think directly about coffee.
Okay, you thought about other areas. So you're generalizing basically. Okay.
Exactly. Right. So we said, what business should we do, right? And so we said, okay, we want to do something that we don't want to compete against our neighbor. Two, we want to do something that can contribute towards the protection, the conservation of the forest. We wanted to do something that will allow us to keep our culture, our tradition. We didn't want to do something where we have to move this out and introduce this, right? So we wanted to do something that will also look at the focus on culture, tradition, importantly food security. We wanted to do something whereby it will not only generate income and benefits to us directly as a family, but we wanted to do something that would also support other families, where many more people can be involved, not only us as a direct family. And the bigger picture is we wanted to do something that later on it will give back to the community, to the good practices. So we looked at all of this. Excellent. That's how we landed, and we decided to do coffee. Okay, no one does coffee. We said, okay, we're growing coffee, we're processing our own coffee. Why don't we start with it? No one does it, and coffee grows under the shade, and it you don't really need to move out what you have. You just introduce coffee. We already have all our fruit trees. We already have the forest. We just introduce, we do shade management, and we use no chemicals. It's just naturally grown, and so that's how we decided to do coffee, man, and it's been exciting, I hear it.
When we come back, Mesh shares how his business got its name. We also begin our tour of the farm. We take a break to hear from our partners, Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, the Barry, and Shell Belize.
Ho, ho, ho! It's time again for the most spectacular, eye-popping, jaw-dropping parade of the year, Love FM's Christmas Parade. On Saturday, December 17th, the streets of the old capital will come alive with marching bands, fabulous floats, Ozzy the Clown, cartoon characters, flashing Christmas lights, and tumblers tumbling. Come out early to secure your viewing spot as participants and floats delight your senses with this awesome parade extravaganza. Show off your dance moves moves as all your favorite marching bands from north, south, east, and west take over the streets of Belize and give you so much music and make the parade a December to remember. Special appearances by El Shaddai Marching Band from San Benito Petén, Guatemala. To top it all off, there will be giveaways galore, treats from your favorite business floats, and candies in all flavors of the rainbow. See Santa and Mrs. Claus dance in the Christmas parade and jiggle their way to Albert Street in the absolutely best parade of the year. Love FM's Christmas Parade. Bring out the entire family.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Pay less.
Shell V Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me.
Now, what does Oshmul means, and why did you select that particular name?
Okay. San Antonio Village is a Yucatec Mayan speaking community, unique, the only in the West. When the people that started or founded the community, when they settled in this area, they found out, or they saw that there were 3 Mayan structures, which we say 3 Mayan ruins.
And temples.
Yeah, temples, 3 Mayan temples, right?
Yeah.
3 Mayan temples in the area. So they said, okay, looks like our ancestors were here before.
Yeah.
There are 3 Mayan temples here. So we're going to name the village after these 3 Mayan temples. So they settled and they decided to name the village Oshmul. Osh, number 3, Mul, Mayan temple.
So Osh means 3, and Mul means temple.
Yes.
So it's like 3 temples.
Yes.
Oshmul.
Yes. So they named the village Oshmul. Of course, later on religion followed, right? People converted into Catholicism. The Catholic Church was built. Patron Saint Anthony was brought to the Catholic Church. People were told they had to honor their patron saint. So that is when they decided to change the name from Oshmul to San Antonio in honor of patron Saint Anthony. Oshmul became history.
How many years ago did that happen?
Actually, approximately around the 1870s. Wow. So it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
So it stayed as a piece of history, you know.
So Oshmul was just a memory in some people's mind.
Exactly. And actually, like the younger generation didn't really know about that piece of history. So when we started doing coffee, we said, okay, of course, the Mayans had nothing to do with coffee. You know, this is introduced.
Yeah.
But we said, this is the opportunity to bring back a piece of history.
Good.
So we decided to give it that unique name. We named our coffee brand Oshmul Coffee, and we gave it a story, right?
Let's get a story.
We named our coffee Oshmul, and we gave it a story on how the name comes to be. So Oshmul is a Yucatec Mayan word, which is the original name of San Antonio.
Can I read this? Naturally grown on the foothills of the Maya mountain range in western Belize in the village of San Antonio, Cayo district, Oshmul coffee derives from the original name of San Antonio in Yucatec Maya known as Oshmulca. James Mesh and family, Maya descendants who still speak the Yucatec Maya language, decided to name their coffee brand Oshmul Coffee as to keep the original name of San Antonio for generations to come and to produce organically grown coffee. Wow. And then it has your information here. For more information, please contact Oshmul Coffee at, that should be oshmulcoffee21@gmail.com. And then the phone numbers. Wow, congrats. And it's well packaged too.
Our bags are biodegradable. Remember, we're talking about a clean environment. So these bags are biodegradable. And culturally, traditionally, when it comes to agriculture, farming, we follow the agricultural calendar. Calendar.
Notice my calendar here, very prominent.
Yes, as our logo. Because, I mean, that's what we do, you know. I mean, we've been doing this for many years, you know.
It's unique to have the coffee bean in place in the middle of the Mayan calendar because, like you said, it's not a Maya coffee is not necessarily a Maya tradition.
Exactly, it's introduced, adapted.
And then your logo from the tree to the cup.
Then, actually, you know, we decided to put a slogan, right? From the tree to the cup. Because that's what we do here. We do it, as I mentioned earlier. We do it. The whole process is done the way it should be done. Our plants are grown under an agroforestry system, focus on culture, tradition, food security, and all the process is manually done. We don't have any machine that we plug on the wall and hit a switch. Everything is manually processed. And we don't add anything to our product. We don't take away anything from our product. We harvest, it goes through the process, and you get the final product.
Now this is the coffee bean that they have in this bag here. Do you do the ground coffee?
Yes, we do whole bean and we do grounded coffee.
Okay.
And but grounded coffee, we would always grind the coffee the moment a person requests for grounded coffee.
Okay, so
because so that you can get it fresh, you know. And but we do grounded coffee, whole bean. We do dark roast and medium roast. Those are our two roasts, dark and medium roast. Yes.
So you have really got me in the mood now to go and see what this is all about. So will you be taking me on a walking tour of your setup?
Yes. Now we need to take a walk, and I'll show you the coffee from the nursery through the whole process, from the tree to the cup, right?
Yeah. Now that I understand hear the story, I'm eager to see it.
All right. And of course, there's one condition, right? You don't work, you don't drink. So
I don't mind working.
Heads up, right?
I have been working for a while, so I don't mind doing the work at all. So, James, you have moved from under the shed now, and we are going over to the area where you have your coffee beds and seedlings, right? Yes, exactly. Am I right in that?
yes, correct. So now we're going to look at the seedlings, so you know where the whole process starts.
Okay, let's go. You lead the way. I will.
Perfect.
I'm with you. All right.
So here we have a seedling nursery. What you're looking at there are all baby coffee plants.
Okay.
So this is where it all starts, right?
So, James, how do you protect these seedlings from predators like iguanas and different insects and maybe even molding or something like? How do you protect these?
Okay, one. If you notice, you know, we have a little shade, you know, leaves for shade. This is to kind of manage, you know, the moisture, you know, the sunlight and the amount of rain. But tell you that when it comes to the animals, to nature, man, you know, so far we have no issues so far.
So far.
With any animals come and messing around with our trees. But one thing we do know, and we've learned by farming, is that whenever we plant a crop, we have to plant extra. Because nature is definitely coming.
It takes its toll
yes,
on it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with the coffee, up to this moment, you know, we haven't had any issues with any pests.
Okay, how old are these plants that we're looking at?
Actually, these plants here are from setting the seedlings for germination to where it is. They are actually 5 months.
5 months.
Yes. When we started germinating seeds, it took us 6 months for it to germinate.
Wow.
Now by doing tryouts and playing around with them, we have brought it down to 2 months.
Wow.
So we're looking at 5 months here.
Okay.
When we started germinating seedlings, we used to germinate them in bags, like plastic bags.
Plastic bags, uh-huh.
But the problem is that when they're ready to be transplanted, I stay with a bunch of bags. So we are eliminating that.
And then
You
just
know-
putting them, germinating them directly into the soil.
Exactly. So when they're ready to be transplanted, we dig them from here and it goes directly to the field, right?
Okay.
So this is where it all starts. Germinating of seedlings.
Okay.
And in those other beds we also have some seeds planted and they are just starting to germinate.
Okay, then you'll transfer or the same
No,
thing, same process here.
Same process. We'll
here.
allow them to grow and then we transplant them.
transplant.
And the farmers that are planting coffee, we'll ask them to prepare their land, and when it is ready and when these are ready, it's basically taking them out and taking it directly to the field.
All right. So where do we go now?
Now from here we go and look at some of the mature plants, coffee plants growing under the shade, under the fruit trees.
All right, let's do
All
that.
right?
Let's do that. Okay, so James, so these are the other beds you told me about.
Yes, we have
that you have some seedlings
that
planted there.
planted in here. We also have seedlings here. And then in that last seed bed there, this bed we just prepared it yesterday. We're going to actually plant seeds this coming full moon.
Okay.
Is when we're going to sow some more seedlings in this bed here.
But you said the full moon. You mean you have to wait till the moon is full or the time is correct to plant it? You just can't just plant it at any
No,
time?
we look at the phases of the moon when it comes to planting.
Okay.
So we have to wait for the correct timing, which is normally like we do it 3 days before, 3 days after.
3 days
Full-
before the full moon
or
and
3 days
or
after.
3 days after the full moon.
3 days before or 3
Or
days after.
But why is that, James? Just, explain how that full moon concept works.
Well, traditionally, culturally, the practice and the belief is that that specific timing is when nature is full with its energy. It's full with like the trees, the seeds with their natural sap, and so it would stand against any pests, any other diseases that want to actually affect the plant. So that is the correct timing when we plant, because the moon is full, and like harvesting from nature, like a tree that's when it's full with its sap, is resistant. So that's when we harvest them.
It's like it's blessing the plants, right?
Exactly, correct. All right.
Okay,
So
where we're heading to now?
so now, as I in this area here,
Yeah, I see the
we
mature-
are looking at
bigger
some of
trees.
the mature trees here, right?
Because they're planted-
Here,
like you said, they're planted all around.
yes, this plot here actually is the tryout plot. This is where the whole idea started. Our coffee plants here, we have them under shade trees, and all our shade trees are fruit trees, which, these fruit trees existed, so we just inserted coffee under them. Yes, and shade is very important because coffee needs shade for it to grow. So shade management is very important for the cultivation of coffee. When we started doing coffee, we had no idea on the whole process of cultivating coffee. But now, we've been, doing different tryouts, so now we know that shade management is very important. Pruning of the plants, of the coffee plants is very important. So from germinating a seed to first harvest is 3 years. That is when the coffee starts bearing.
How old would these trees that we are looking
Okay.
at be?
If I can show you this tree right here, this one here.
This one over here.
Yes. This is 3 years old.
3 years old.
This is 3 years old. And this is the first year it's producing. Look at it.
Years old.
Basically, this is what is produced this year.
In 3 years.
3 years. So this is the first coffee that it is. These are the first fruits that it's producing. So 3 years. This is 3 years old. And then it bears every year.
The leaves have a coffee smell as well?
No.
They don't smell like coffee.
No. The leaf doesn't smell. The fruit is sweet, of course.
Yeah.
You get the coffee aroma, the smell and the taste until you roast.
Until you roast.
Yes.
Right. So before you roast, you don't smell no coffee smell at all.
No, it does not. It does not. So then the other mature trees there, we're looking at 10 years old. We're looking at 12 years old.
And these are the berries on them
Yes,
already,
like
right?
this one, this tree here actually is 10 years old. And it has some berries on it. The interesting thing is that harvesting time this year actually was different. It came in early.
So you
Harvesting,
already harvested already.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so what we are looking at is trees that have already been harvested.
yes, exactly. The normally harvesting season is November to February. That's when we harvest. November to February. Last year's harvesting started in October. This year it started in July.
Why was that?
I mean, changing weather conditions.
conditions,
That's what's been causing this to happen. So we started harvesting in July. November is far from July, right?
yeah, of course.
And so we started harvesting in July. So these trees have been harvested. These are the last.
We're just seeing whatever remains on them,
Yes, exactly. Which we still have a couple more to go, but I mean, we've harvested from these trees.
Do they grow tall or some of them?
Actually, as I said, this is the trial plot. We just planted coffee, and we had no idea you have to maintain coffee. So, but pruning is important. You actually you guide your tree on how you want your tree to be grown. Like you want it to go up or you want it to grow on the sides. You play around with the pruning of the plant. And so we still have some of these fruit trees, some of these trees here. The coffee trees that still have some fruits on them
Some
here,
of them,
right?
yeah. Can I pull
And
this?
The brighter color, like that one here, like the brighter yellow color, are the best ones because those are. Have you ever tasted a coffee fruit before?
Not really.
Okay,
Can I pull
you can pull that, just pull it. You can suck on it. It's sweet.
Yes.
It has 2 seeds inside. You take out the seed, and then you can spit out the skin, of course.
There's a seed.
It gives you 2 seeds.
seeds, yeah.
Normally, it will give you 2 seeds, and
There
it's
it
sweet. And it's sweet, right?
It's sweet, yeah. There it is.
Yeah. The fruit is sweet. So normally, each coffee fruit will give you 2 coffee seeds.
And this is what you roast.
No.
See, I'm learning.
The roasting is far yet. The roasting is far yet. So the first step in processing coffee is picking the fruit. So we hand pick the fruits. As they ripen, we pick them.
Okay.
So we pick the fruits, and at the end of the day, right, after we pick the fruits, we have to make sure that we extract the seeds that are inside.
But it's amazing, James, how sweet this really is. This is really sweet, and then it's totally the opposite of what of a cup of the coffee itself.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I mean, it's very interesting that like many people don't know that the coffee fruit is sweet. I mean, like here the children, they love to come and help. Why? Because this is sweet.
Yeah.
They suck on the fruit, they spit out the seed.
And this is really what you want to see.
Exactly, that's what we need. And so we extract the seed, and then the process continues. And so our trees are grown like this under our shade trees, and the shade trees are all fruit trees, right?
Yeah.
We have yes. We
I get to enjoy this now.
it's sweet. I mean, we harvest every 2 weeks. It all depends if we get a lot of rain. The rain, ripens the coffee fruits fast, so we have to harvest them, as they ripen. If not, then we get to lose them.
Yeah.
So fruit trees we use.
I must say you manage your space very well.
We do. I mean, we do. So we try to use different fruit trees, different shade trees. So we are not only here waiting for coffee to produce. We're harvesting star apple, which we call kaimito.
Yeah.
We're harvesting oranges. We're harvesting bananas. We're harvesting avocados. And then when coffee is ready, we harvest coffee. So it's a mixture of trees. There is always something producing. So that's how that's why I say, we're looking at also food. not only coffee itself, but also different fruit trees.
What are these? Lime, no?
Yeah, this is Jamaican lime.
Okay.
This is Jamaican
Kind
lime.
of dry up.
Yeah, yeah. Jamaican lime, yes.
Okay, so we have come now to your processing area.
Yes.
Right, James?
Yes, correct. So, as I said, the first step is actually like picking the fruit from the tree, right? And at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we extract the seeds from the fruit. The fresher the fruit, the easiest to extract the seed.
Yes.
If we allow the fruit to sit there for 2-3 days, then it becomes hard to extract. And here at the farm, it's family, so everyone is involved.
So
But
all the children are involved?
Involve the children. Once they can do something, they're involved. And here we have Jason Mai. He's he lives at the farm. He's my nephew, and he helps us with the coffee processing. And he is involved in the different steps of processing we do. So Jason is going to show us here on how we extract the seed from the coffee fruit. Because we don't do it manually one by one, like with
Like
our
what I
hand.
was doing just now, I'll take one by one.
We do it the way it should be done. So Jason will show us here.
Hi, Jason. Nice meeting you.
Pleasure.
Jason, how long have you been doing this?
Well, coffee is new for us. Try out an error. It works perfect.
Okay, so you've been
So
doing trial
yeah,
and error.
so errors keeps us like in the good track. Now we are going there perfect. So to extract seeds now we use a mortar and pestle.
Okay, so you have but I see you have a bag of seeds here.
Yes. We do have like James told you there's two big families in coffee. The Arabica turns red, which is what you have here. This is Arabica. And then the one that you saw
Which is
on
like,
the
which would be
trails,
this
yeah,
one here, right?
the
Would be this.
yellow one is
Oh, sorry.
Robusta.
It dropped. That's
Yes.
Robusta.
Yes.
Yeah. This would be Robusta.
Yes, and
the red
Arabica.
would be Arabica.
Yes. So as we harvest, we have to beat it with a mortar and pestle
Oh yeah.
to extract all those seeds. And we beat it lightly.
But what if you break the seeds?
Well, we beat it gently, so we don't break off the seeds or off, right? So it's when it's ripe, it's easy. You don't have to beat it hard.
Oh, okay. I could get a little feel of that and see how it
Yes,
feels.
yes.
Yeah, you hold my microphone and we can see how we are work this. So gently, you said, right?
Yes, gently.
Am I doing it gently enough?
Yes, you are doing it right. So here we have to beat it until we see that all the fruits are.
So we got some.
Or the
We
seeds
got.
are
We have some more to go, right?
Yes.
Because I'm still seeing fruits on top, right? And James said I had to do some work anyway, so. So there we go.
So when.
So no, not too hard, because if you do it too hard, like you say, you break up the seeds, right?
Yes. So
Just gently enough.
So when we actually are finished with this, we select those seeds there and we set it in water for an overnight.
Okay.
Then the following day we wash and set it in the sun for 3 days.
3 days?
Yes.
Wow. So what we are doing here right now won't be ready for 3 days.
Yes.
Well, I don't think if I could wait the whole of 3 days, but
Yeah. So meanwhile
I'm enjoying this.
Yes.
You have a job for me here?
yes, we have a little sack here to to extract the seeds, right?
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, can't hit it too hard. I see why you say you can't hit it hard. You just have to work it and work it around
Yes,
to make
yes.
sure you get the right get it the right way. When I took out a lot of seeds there.
Yeah, so this is what we do normally, right? And then this is how
this
we
is the drying process.
this is the drying process here.
Okay, so those seeds that we just did there will be brought here and
Yeah.
dried.
We,
Why
we-
are some darker than others?
because this there are some that's actually that where we beat they never were extracts.
No, never extract
Yes.
totally.
Yeah, so that's why we are seeing brown.
Okay, I could pick up some of this.
Yes, you could.
Okay. Has no weight really.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you would pick up some peanuts, you would feel some
Weight.
weight, but this feels just like shells,
Yes.
like this. So that means that the seed could break easily, right? Can it? And this.
When it's a little bit not dry enough, it will be difficult to break.
Okay. Okay. So the outer part of the seed apparently it comes off, right?
Yes.
See? Because
So-
in doing this, I can see the outer part coming off.
Yeah, so this here have to go in another processing where we use another mortar and pestle to extract the shells off from the coffee bean. Right?
So the shell has to come off.
Yes, this
This shell here.
This
That's what I
shell-
was doing just now, right? Like this,
Yeah.
see? Like that. See? Keep
yeah,
it-
but
it's on the top.
but if you do it one by one, you will not finish.
I will never finish. So
Yes.
How do you do? How
So
do you
let-
complete this now?
So let's walk, and James has ready another mortar and pestle where we extract the shell from the coffee bean.
Okay. Because one by one it can be done. See? There's
Yeah.
that one there, there's
It's
another one here.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
it can
hard.
be done.
But,
it will take you forever.
yeah,
to write
but-
the saying.
At the end of the day, you will be missing a piece of your skin off, right, from your finger.
Oh yes, because it will tell on your fingers.
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
After a word from our partners, Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, the Barry and Shell Belize, we will wrap up our visit to James Mesh Coffee Farm.
Ho, ho, ho! It's time again for the most spectacular, eye-popping, jaw-dropping parade of the year, Love FM's Christmas Parade. On Saturday, December 17th, the streets of the old capital will come alive with marching bands, fabulous floats, Ozzy the Clown, cartoon characters, flashing Christmas lights, and tumblers tumbling. Come out early to secure your viewing spot as participants and floats delight your senses with this awesome parade extravaganza. Show off your dance moves as all your favorite marching bands from north, south, east, and west take over the streets of Belize and give you so much music and make the parade a December to remember. Special appearances by El Shaddai Marching Band from San Benito Petén, Guatemala. To top it all off, there will be giveaways galore, treats from your favorite business floats, and candies in all flavors of the rainbow. See Santa and Mrs. Claus dance in the Christmas parade and jiggle their way to Albert Street in the absolutely best parade of the year. Love FM's Christmas Parade. Bring out the entire family.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
Shell V-Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me.
And so what happens here now?
So when it's dry, we have another bigger mortar and pestle where we set the dry coffee seed.
So this is completely dried.
This is dry. So if it is not dry enough, what could happen here is that
The skin will come off, no?
yeah, the shell, we call it the shell, it just smashed together with the coffee bean.
Okay.
But if it's dry enough, it breaks easily.
Yeah. That's it there. Yeah, I'm just doing it like that with my one hand, but that's it.
So as you asked earlier, you right? Remember when you harvested when you extracted the seed from the fruit, you asked the question if this is what we roast, and I told you not yet, right? So it goes through the process, and now these seeds are dry. This is what you get from the coffee fruit. Now after it is dry, as Jason mentioned, this shell has to come off, and it only comes off when the seed is dry.
Yeah.
If the seed is not dry, this shell is not coming off. Yes. So when the seed is dry, we take off the shell to get to the coffee bean, right? And there you are, the shell and the coffee bean. Now the coffee bean is what goes to the roaster. This is what we roast.
The shell is discarded.
Yes, it goes in our soil mixture, so it goes back to the
Fertilizer.
Exactly. So this is what goes to the roaster, and for us to shell, we use a bigger mortar here. So this is the daily workout, right?
That's the workout there.
That's why you see us here, the farmer, always young and handsome, because of the daily workout we do, right?
Jason got muscles.
Yes. So we put the dry seeds and we beat. We beat the dry seeds.
You beat this harder than how you
Yes.
would beat
Well,
the
yeah,
wet
well,
one.
this
right?
here you beat it hard, so it separates the shell from the coffee bean. Once the seed is dry, the shell is separated. If the seed is not dry, it will not separate the shell. It mashes the coffee bean. Look at it. You can see? You start seeing separating it. See?
Yeah, they're separated.
Yes. So that is how we separate the shell from the coffee seed. Look at it. Look at them. They're separated already. Look at this. Is still has part of it. See? So after we shell, then we have to separate the shell from the coffee bean. We do it. We do it in two ways. One
Let me feel this first, because this is a very heavy stick. This is extremely heavy.
Yes.
So we would
Just beat.
and do it hard.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, normally,
Tell me, tell me.
in my version, I call this my everyday gym.
Yeah, because this is almost something like you.
Well, but you have to be careful though, because it can serve as a weapon, right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a workout, man, because
This
this
is a complete workout. This is a complete workout. And nice experience. I like doing this. I gotta go spend some more time with you on the farm, James.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. Yeah. And as I and
That's
as,
the capsule shell too.
of course, look at it.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, here the children, as soon as they can do something, they're involved. And that's one of the main reasons we have this small mortar here,
Okay.
because they get involved as soon as they can do something. So after we shell, we wait for the breeze to blow.
The breeze to blow.
Breeze, the strong
The
breeze,
nice,
the
beautiful
wind.
Pine Ridge
Yes,
breeze.
exactly.
All right. So
We go out in the open, set a tarp, throw it up in the air. The breeze blows off the shell, and the seed falls on the tarp. That's one way how we do it.
Okay.
And secondly, I mean, if there is no breeze, we need to clean it. It goes through a mesh wire, through a sieve, as we say.
So we're not trying that right now, though.
No. So we do. That's the way how we separate our bean from the shell, and then it goes to the roaster, right?
And he roaster.
He's the expert roaster, Jason. Okay. Yeah, he's the guy that knows the timing, the minutes, the color of the smoke, the aroma, the taste.
How long it take for roast, James? I mean,
Jason. So we can walk and see the roaster, and
let's do that.
and then
Well, like you said, everything is locally made, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So in the pandemic, nowhere to go. We think that we did the correct. Um, we collected the item correct to do our roaster. Um, we use a propane butane tank.
That's what I noticed. There was.
So we added handle to it, a door. So this takes 30 pounds of coffee bean.
Okay.
And then we play with fire.
So you actually use firewood and.
Yes,
and
we
and
use
all that.
we use firewood, and this is the third of the last in the processing of the coffee, roasting. So we see time, we smell aroma, we see smoke, we see the natural oil from the seed itself. Then we do both roast. We do medium and dark.
Yeah. What happens to the oil from that the seed produces?
Well, actually, when we see the natural oil from the seed, is that when we know that our dark roast is over.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it stays shiny, the bean.
Uh-huh.
So our log is very important there.
That's a chair, right?
That's my seat there.
Uh-huh.
So I sit there for hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes.
An hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes.
Yes.
You are seated here,
Yes.
turning
This
this roaster.
turning the roaster for a non-stop.
You mean you can't stop?
No, the view is what keeps us motivated.
Oh, it's a beautiful, yeah.
The view is what keeps us motivated there.
Inspirational.
Yes. So, and a cup of coffee in your hands.
Okay.
And we sit there for hour and a half, for hour and 45 minutes. At the edge of the door, we see white smoke. Roast is over.
Mm-hmm.
And gray smoke goes for dark roast.
Gray smoke for dark roast.
Yes.
And
White smoke goes for medium.
for medium roast.
Yes.
Okay, then.
And then actually the aroma is what tells us what exactly the what flavor of coffee we have in there, medium or dark.
Which one nicer?
Both of them. Oshmul coffee.
Good answer. Good answer. So that I think that's a similar one to this.
Well, we are replacing this one here. So this is when we started roasting or processing our coffee here. So we are introducing another one.
But what I admire is like what James told me. Everything here is homemade, right, James? There's nothing really nothing that was manufactured outside or anything. Everything that you have here is indigenous to this to Belize. I mean, gas tank, we use gas tank. All we have one gas tank home, and
We just recycle that.
and you just recycle it. So it's great.
Yeah, so we what did with the roaster? We recycled the gas tank. We thought we started roasting on a small little kamal, like 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and we said we need to put something in place. So we just recycled the gas tank, and works perfect. Yeah. So it's been a while, and we are off, of course, with the heat. So now it's time to replace. So we have a new one coming in, and that's how it works. So after roasting, then it goes to the grinding.
Grinding. And
Yes.
These are these grinding stones over here.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So Jason does the grinding too, James?
Like well here, as I said.
After you sit down there for an hour and a half, I guess he must say, happy for stand up and grind here.
Exactly. As I said, like everyone is involved, right? So I mean, all of us, are involved in the different processes, and
What does your daughter do? I see your daughter standing over there watching you.
Actually, she grinds and
Oh, yeah?
coffee. So she's gonna grind some coffee for us today.
Okay, introduce us then. Let's.
So my daughter, her name is Sulema Mesh.
Hi, Miss Suleiman. Nice meeting you.
She is also one of the owners of Oshmul, of course, and so she also is involved in the processing of coffee. So they help us with grinding, packaging, and the like the marketing part of it, so Solema is going to help us in show us how we grind coffee using the traditional grinding.
Traditional grinding way.
Yes, exactly.
Not import, not any sophisticated, nothing sophisticated, just the best.
Yes, the traditional way, the way it should be done, right?
Yeah.
So Solema is going to show us how we. So after the roasting, then we grind coffee before, of course, coffee is prepared to drink, right?
Okay.
So we have to grind coffee because if not, then we can't drink coffee.
Exactly.
So Solema is going to show us how we grind coffee.
We grind coffee. So Lemma, thank you so much for
Thank
nice meeting you. And
meeting
how long have you been doing this with your dad?
Well, I've been here like since we started doing coffees, like my dad mentioned. Since then, we have been doing all the process, either packaging. We just started last year, like my dad mentioned. So I started helping my dad since we started, and then also the grinding, drying, harvesting coffee. Since then.
I like the role that both of you play. Jason prepares the seed, gets it to this stage, right? He gets
Yes.
it to this stage here, which
So
is
the dry bean.
the dry bean,
Yes.
right? So and then he
he
roasts
roasts
it and brings it out like that.
Yes, this is
This
dark
is what he
roast.
delivers to you.
Yes, this is dark roast, and then we need to grind.
Okay.
We need to grind so we can brew coffee. So I'll be showing you how we grind coffee. This is the dark roast. We use the stone grinder. So what we do, we hold this stone like this way.
You have to got a special way of holding it.
Yes, because we need to be careful with our fingers.
Oh, okay. You
Not
grind your
to.
finger too, no?
Yes, so we cannot hurt our fingers. So what we do is we put the stone in front of us, and then we smash.
And you smash.
Bring it
Oh,
forward.
okay.
We need to add some pressure also. So that's how we grind our coffee. Using the
Almost
stone
similar
grinder.
to grinding chocolate, right?
Yes.
Cocoa.
Yes. This can be used to grind chocolate, corn. We also use it for corn. And now we are doing coffee here.
And I smell that coffee,
Yes.
man, as you're grinding that. Oh,
And smell the aroma of the coffee.
yes, you smell the aroma already.
This is what we love to do also. Grinding our coffee so we can smell the aroma of the coffee.
Wow.
So we need to keep doing this until we get the fine grain that we
Fine
want.
grain, And that is
Yes.
what you actually package?
Yes, either we package whole bean or grind it. So like these ones you can see here, we have like large grains. So we need to keep grinding and grinding until we want the grain that we want. We'll be showing you the grain that we want.
How long would it take you to produce a pound of coffee?
Grinding?
Grinding,
Well, now that we have practice, it takes about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5
I
minutes
think it
or
will
less.
take me an hour.
Yes, you need to practice. So right now we already have practice. Do you want to try it? You can try
Yeah,
it.
let me see.
Yes, just be
So I have
careful
to be
with
careful
your,
with my fingers.
with your
And then you take a little bit and you push it this side,
Yes,
right? And you go,
and bring it forward.
and then you bring it forward, right? Then you go over it again,
Yes.
and you continue. And you go over it again, getting it finer and finer. I think I could come and work with you. I could get a job there, or
We need volunteers.
you volunteers, don't you? When visitors come, you put them to do this all the time?
Yes.
Good experience, really. Good for Belizean children to see this and to experience it, See, you produce a lot of grind coffee, see there? Yeah. What did I do?
You're doing great.
Okay. So you punish me for finish all of there, no? And so you just continue doing this until you get it to
Until we get
the texture that you want, right?
The
But it smells nice, man. Make I feel like I want to stop and drink a cup of coffee.
Girls,
Right?
the
It's
coffee.
delicious. Wow, nice.
Yes, so
And this
this
is
is
dark
how
roast, right?
dark roast.
Dark roast. Okay.
So this is the using the stone grinder. So now we have the introduced the manual grinder, which is the stone grinder and the manual grinder behind us.
Okay, the manual grinder will be this hand crank.
Yes, which is a bit
Thing.
easier. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
see there we still left like a large grains.
Yeah.
So now the manual grinder we just stand here and then turn, which is easier
And,
for us.
and you don't have to do it a second time, right?
No, this is adjustable. We adjust it the way we want the fine grain. If we want large grain or finer grain, then we adjust it and then we just turn.
And it's faster too.
Yes, and it's faster also. This takes us less than 5 minutes.
And it's not very stiff, right?
No, I'll give you.
Oh yeah. The
Then
crisp.
you can see it. The grain comes equally.
Yeah.
The grain comes equally.
Yeah. I finished to see batch here, man. Just dark coffee. Delicious. The aroma is there, man. Hey. What a way. Wow, finished. So if I wanted to make more, I would just take some of this. Can I do that and drop it in there?
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's just see. I get to enjoy this job now. So you will just do that, right?
Yes, you just add it.
Right? Add it in,
And then
and then you. And this is ready to be packaged, right?
yes,
So
and
lemon?
that's what we package.
So that's it, yeah. That's a lot. See? Goes around freely now, see? No more. Yeah. This is great. And so this would be a
Yes, you
package.
can compare this one to this one. Then
Yeah.
this one you really need
This
to.
one has a lot of muscle and
Yes.
but this is ready to be packaged.
Yes, ready to be packaged.
And you put this in your coffee maker, your percolator, you're good. Very good. Nice experience.
Something very important.
Yes, James.
Something very important is that, like a lot of our locals that come, they go through the experience. We grind coffee, and the question always comes up. Say, so I just put this in hot water and I mix it and it's ready to drink. And the answer is no, because this is not instant coffee. This here you have to put it through your coffee maker, or you have to put water to boil, a little strainer, drop it in there, just leave it to boil, and then you strain it, right? That's how this is prepared. Okay, this is real coffee. This is not instant coffee.
So we should tell folks, don't go taking this and putting it in a cup and mixing it and drinking it, because that's not the way.
No, that's not the way. You have
Percolated coffee.
Yes, exactly, yes. And so we work for the coffee, right? And so this is the process. And now after we grind, then it goes through the preparation as we just mentioned, and then we drink coffee. Yeah. And so you drink coffee, right?
Of course.
Okay. So now we go and we drink coffee.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah. We work for the coffee, right?
For the coffee,
We
I'm
work for
sweating.
the coffee, so now we drink coffee, man.
Yes, well.
As I told you earlier, you don't work, you don't drink, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
This has been very educational, James, and I have to admire that you involve your family, and also that the material you use is not highfalutin or expensive. It's very affordable.
Yes.
You know.
That's why I said, that, we do it the way it should be done. Manually involving people, grown the way it should be grown, and processed the way it should be processed, and with what is available and can be used, right?
We could even start with your tools here. What your receptacles here. These are all things I think you cut this wood, you cut from the farm, right? You cut it right out here. You
Wood.
shape it, you make your
Wood and stone,
and the stone is here.
yeah, and the roof here.
The roof,
it's-
everything
you
is
know.
just from around here.
Yes. One important thing I want to mention though is that, as I said earlier, it's more than coffee, right? So here we also take the opportunity, like when people visit us, or especially the locals, we try to promote, apart from coffee, the other agricultural practices, but also the Mayan writing. I'm not sure if you noticed. Right here on the side.
Oh yeah.
You noticed that, right?
Notice it, so you did that.
Actually, is one of the locals from the community.
Okay. And what does this say?
Actually, this is glyphs, hieroglyphs. So the Mayans believe that at a certain time period, this generation was created and created out of corn. Were made out of corn.
Children of corn, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And for us, Oshmul Coffee was born on the 9th of March 2021 and is owned by the Mesh family. That's the story here.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So we also try to promote as much as we can, apart from coffee, also the culture, the tradition, which is important.
Excellent, James.
Yes.
Good. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right, so let's drink some coffee.
We drink some coffee. Some of the
Yes.
coffee we have just ground here.
Exactly. We have coffee now ready to be
Ready
let's taste.
percolated. So after that grinding session there, I see Sulema rushed off to prepare some coffee for us, right? To percolate some coffee for us.
Yes.
You,
I had to go and find the coffee that you'll be tasting right now.
so what coffee will you be giving me? The dark roast, the same dark roast like what we did just now, right?
Same dark roast we just grinded here.
All right, and you ready for your coffee?
Yes.
All right. So James, we
yes. So
move forward?
please let's
All right.
let's taste some of the good coffee, Oshmul coffee. Right?
Oshmul coffee.
Oshmul coffee.
That's right.
Now I need to say something very important. Our slogan says, "From the tree to the cup." What you saw is the process we do.
Yeah.
We don't add anything to it. We don't take away anything from it.
No chemicals, nothing.
Nothing.
No enhancement, nothing.
So, what you're getting here is the final product that we're going to taste, the coffee. Now, it's your call if you want to, if you want to spoil your coffee.
How you spoil your coffee?
If you want to add sugar to it,
No,
we
no,
have
no, no,
sugar.
no, no. I'm okay. I drink coffee black. I don't add anything to my coffee. For
Yeah,
years
so-
I've not done that.
So as I said, from the tree to the cup, right?
That's right.
So if you want to spoil, there is sugar, but that's your call. Apart
I
from
won't
that, you get
spoil
the
it.
real taste, right?
Yes, I want the real
Perfect.
taste.
So
I won't spoil it at all.
we have some oshmul. This is dark roast.
Dark roast.
Dark roast.
Well, let me congratulate you on this and cheers. All the best as we take a sip of Oshmul coffee. It's very hot though, I must say.
Be careful. It's hot.
Yeah, it's too hot for me. Yeah, this is a real deal, right? This is the real deal. There's no additive, nothing. This is just a raw, dark coffee.
Yes. So it has to be good.
It has to be good.
It has to be good. It's because it's from the tree
The tree to the cup.
to your cup, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So it has to be good. Okay. Presently, you can only purchase our coffee at the farm.
You mean I have to come way to San Antonio to get my Oshmul coffee?
For the full experience, you need to, because this is the only place where you can actually come and purchase coffee. Apart from that, we in the other districts, towns, we ship to people. So people would purchase coffee and we ship it to them.
So if I could put in an order using the numbers that you have on the label, and you would ship it to me.
Yes, you can contact us on our contact numbers. We have a Facebook page. We also have an Instagram page, Oshmul Coffee, and our information is there. You can contact us, and we can ship coffee to you, or you want to visit us, you want to come and have the full experience. You're always welcome. We live at the farm,
Yes.
so
You're always here.
we're always here.
Yeah.
We're always here. Anytime, you know. But at the moment, our product is only sold at the farm. So one of the reasons is like people would come for coffee, but they come for coffee, and if they have a little time, then we try to show them what we do. Because it's important for them to know and to be, the educational part
See
of
how
it,
the coffee
and,
is
and,
actually
to, and to
made.
know what you're actually bringing, what you are purchasing to drink, right?
Yeah. Well, I can't stop drinking it right now. I'm taking sip after sip. Yeah. So let me thank your daughter and your nephew for being so kind to us. Thank you so much.
Too.
Yeah, and congratulations on being part of a family business that produces good coffee.
Yes,
Right.
thank you. Thank you too for visiting us.
Anything you want to say to young people like yourself?
Well, yes, I do want to say something is that, well, go for your dreams. Either you maybe like me, I am 24 years old, so I have always dreamt of having like doing something with my parents and just work for what we want.
Exactly. And what about you, Jason?
Well, thank you for coming and visiting Oshmul, a family farm. So I do play a role in the coffee, and
Well, you sit down for an hour and a half at any given time.
so this is new for me. So I do in my extra income for my family is going out working in the tourism industry, but this coffee called all my attention, so I am stuck here and working for a cup of coffee for at least 1 hour and a half. So I am enjoying it. So I am happy tag along with James, my uncle, which is the founder of Oshimul. So I'm proud to be one of them too. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you for being so kind to me. And well, James, all good things have to come to an end. I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. I want to thank you so much for having me here, and congratulate you on what you are doing and what you have done. And really, this is a work to be admired, and more Belizeans should get to know Oshmul coffee, right? Yeah, I assure you it's a good experience.
Sure. Thank you. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for visiting us, giving us this opportunity to be part of what you do, and of course taking your time to visit us. I'm sure it's been a great experience, and also thank you for helping us promote so that our people can know that this exists and coffee can be grown at a larger scale in country. Because you have something like in southern Belize, you have some people have a couple trees, but it's like no one has thought about like, okay, let's do this big.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the family, for the benefit of the conservation efforts, for the benefit of the needy, for the benefit of the country. Let's produce our coffee. It's possible, it's here. We just have to work towards it. So I encourage the people that want to be involved in good things. We have taken this step. Next year, our plan is to germinate 15,000 plants, issue out to farmers, take a group of farmers, go through a series of trainings, and increase production.
Yeah.
Because now that we started doing this, we come to see that the demand is here,
Yeah.
but the production is not here. So we have to work towards
take
it.
up the production.
Yes.
And maybe you end up buying from other people as well, by encouraging them to produce coffee or teaching them how to do that.
Well, that is the idea. I mean, to encourage people to produce coffee and so they can be our suppliers, and then we can, process and our own coffee in Belize. One important, our main objective is for us, our people, to drink good coffee.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
James, congratulations on a labor that I would term a labor of love, because you love what you're doing, and I can see it reflected on the faces of your nephew and on your daughter and yourself, that you really love what you're doing. And I know we love the cup of coffee as well. So it's all about love, right? And so when we choose to love, we make it because you're doing something that you love. And love is always a choice. So we say, Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love. Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You and me. But guess what? All are we the one.